Here, 3 people can join us too. My name is Amy Geurkink-Coats. I serve as the Talent Development Coordinator in Parkway and basically send out a lot of all district emails. So, welcome this afternoon. All of you have achieved a level that is impressive even where you sit today of being interested in applying for or working towards your national board, which is a pretty awesome undertaking. There's about 100,000 teachers across our entire country that have achieved national board status. So it's a fairly elite group when you start to think about how many teachers that involves across our country, and only 100,000 are there. It's not an impossible task, but it is an intense task. So a couple of years ago, we started offering this session that is basically an opportunity for those of you that are just getting started to hear a little bit about the 4 components from people who are actually doing the 4 components. And then those of you that were here last year or have been started for a couple of years to share that information that you've gained. Because while everything is spelled out, it's still not always very clear. So there's lots of tools and tricks that this group is full of that they can help you. So we'll get started. Please feel free to stand up, help yourself to any snacks along the way. Like I told you, I get in trouble if I do have leftovers. So please make sure that everything is gone before you leave. Our agenda for this evening, we'll go through some introductions, kind of overview those 4 components, talk a little bit about the role of the mentor, then we'll have open question and answer, and share the calendar with you. Any questions before we get started? All right, so let's start with introductions. Do you mind starting us off?
No, that's fine. What would you like me to do?
How about your name, your location, and the area that you are hoping to be certified in?
Okay. I am Robin Geurkink-Coats. I am at Hamlet's Elementary School. I am the math facilitator there. I was hoping to focus in math. There's not an area right now in math, so I'm probably just going to go elementary, like the general biggest concept. Yeah, general elementary.
My name is Anna Stitz, and I'm the ELL coach at Hannah Woods, and I'm thinking I will be going for English as a new language.
I'm Morgan Spence, 2nd grade at Bell Reed, and I'm thinking, probably, I don't remember what it's called, the one that's literacy for this.
Early. Great.
My name is Lee Johnson. I teach over at Swivl High School, and I'm doing, hopefully, and may I be done with chemistry for young adults, pretty much high school chemistry.
I'm Graham Allen, music at Carmen Trails, turning in component 2 of music May 18th, I'm assuming. And I'm going to do my component 1 in June.
Casey Kimball, I'm at Central Middle, and I will be pursuing the National Board for Counseling.
Fantastic.
Melissa Sommerfeld, instructional coach at Central Middle, and I believe I will be pursuing social studies.
No. Co-teaching classroom you might be able to jump into.
Yes.
All right, we'll see.
Melody Barger, I'm at North High. I have finished component 2, component 3. I'm finishing component 4 right now, and I'm taking the test this summer.
And then she will be there.
And we will not find out till December. That's, yeah.
Like the map.
I'm Julie Weiss. I actually am certified. I'm a mentor in middle childhood generalist.
I'm Jenny Mahoney. I teach 8th grade English at Southwest. I'm looking to be certified in English language arts. I think that's a thing. If it is a thing, that's what I'm gonna do.
Hi, I'm Emmanuel Young. I'm a business teacher at West High School, and I'm pursuing National Board Certification in Career and Technical Education.
And also the face of Goal 2 of Project Parkway. Have you guys seen the posters with, is it Goal 2?
I think so.
Yeah, with the manual, looking very
Well, there you go.
astute.
That should count towards
Shoot,
it.
that's documentation of something.
Katie.
I'm Katie Walsh, and I teach 2nd grade at Craig, and I have already submitted component 1, 2, and 3. I'm finishing 4 right now for middle generalist, and Julie's my mentor, and she's phenomenal.
I'm Ashley Yeager, and I teach early childhood at the Early Childhood Center, and I'm hoping to pursue my National Board certification in early childhood in generalist.
Excellent. school. We have a wide variety of people. The good thing in Parkway is that we have quite a wide variety of already certified people too. So if we can't get you matched up with your exact area of emphasis, there's usually someone who's pretty close that we can get you in a relationship with. And really, that mentor relationship becomes an invaluable person of mostly calming your nerves. So I promise that would you agree that while a lot of it is the wonderful feedback that they give you, a lot of it is just this is unknown. And so we're all kind of that first year teacher trying to figure out the process as we go through it. And then you don't have to do it again for 5 to 10 years, so they change everything. Makes it exciting. So this is something that you're going to eventually become very, very familiar with. This is the architecture of accomplished teaching, and they call it the helix. And basically everything that you have to write and reflect on follows itself up that helix. So as you come across this picture, when you start digging into the website and into the pages, please make note of this, because this is really the foundation that National Boards sets their focus on. So the first thing is that you have your students. You have to know your students. So they'll ask you for the demographics of your school. They'll ask you for the history of your school, of any particulars in your school. Then you need to set high and worthwhile goals for those students in your setting, which leads to quality instruction, which leads to you having to evaluate where are the students on that cycle, which leads to you reflecting on their learning and making a judgment, finally setting new goals, and the cycle begins again. So I just wanted to highlight and outline that a little bit for you, because you're going to be asked to do some very specific kind of writing, and that's kind of the flow that everything goes through. So there are 4 components, and each one of them kind of has a nickname. So component 1 is known as the test. So this is a computer-based assessment that you'll actually sign up for online and take at a testing center. There's testing centers all over the area, and there's different dates that they're available. It's designed to demonstrate your knowledge in a broad area of education. So while you may only teach 3rd grade or 2nd grade, it's really a much larger scope. If you are a secondary educator, it often includes areas outside of your level. So what different teachers have found successful is just to grab some textbooks from different levels and just kind of review those. It's stuff you knew in college. It's stuff you probably haven't thought about much since then. There are 3 constructed response exercises on the test. Each one is about 30 minutes in length. I'll have those that have taken it share in just a second. Many times I've heard that the samples and examples you can get online are very, very similar to those that you will actually be given during the test. So anything that you can do to practice with those is beneficial to you. And then it's 45 selected response items that you have an hour to complete. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts. Those of you that have taken it, can you please explain a little bit more of the meat of what it's about?
I took component 1, and I'm a middle generalist. So my content area is grades 2 through 6, every subject. Any question in any area you can think of. So it's extremely broad. To study for it, I looked at the prompts online, the prompts they gave you. Just like Amy said, they're almost identical. What they ask you to do in the prompts, they will ask you the exact same thing on whatever the essay is. So just figure out what you need to do, whether it's misconceptions, what the child like a strength, et cetera, because everybody's area is a little bit different when it comes to the test. But the prompts they give you are literally, you'll see the exact same directions, so it's very beneficial to practice that. So just study anything you can. Like I went and got science curriculum binders for each grade level and read through them, and just, I mean, depending on your area, you either know a lot or you don't know, not to be rude, but like, I don't know anything about 5th and 6th grade, I've never taught it. And then the selected response questions, again, were 45 questions from any of my content, so any subject area. I know people think chemistry, it's probably chemistry questions. Okay, you can speak to that too. It was Some questions I was like, holy shit, I have no clue whatsoever.
I
Oh
did
my
not
gosh.
teach her to say that word.
Yeah, I don't follow the rules, sorry, Julie. Sorry, that was my inner thoughts, I was like, oh my
Not it's being
I
recorded,
use the
don't worry about it.
That was good, Lee.
And so, some questions you're like, okay, and other questions you're like, OMG. So, is that better? Okay, so, yeah, if you're a good test taker, you should feel really good. If you're not the best test taker, just study more. I didn't feel like I was the best test taker, and you just study, and I don't know if you'll ever feel fully prepared, because you don't know per se what they're going to ask you.
And can you retake it if
Yes.
you were one
Yes.
So you can retake it all, you can retake the entire test, you can retake an individual question. For example,